Logan, my Maple Leaf fans, we have a very rare Saturday off because we don't usually have a Saturday off, but you're still gonna get your immediate availability conference with the Maple Leafs right now. We're playing tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock against the Pittsburgh Penguins. I'll have the post-game show right after the game. I'm gonna take you to media day availability of the Toronto Maple Leafs right now.
Nick Taylor has done it again.
Magical moments happen on TSN Plus, the exclusive home of PGA Tour Live, giving you.
What was your big takeaway being teammates with Sidney Crosby? Like, what will you remember about that experience?
I mean, just the leader he is, just with how he goes around, like with his business, just how locked in and dialed he is about really everything. So, yeah, it was really cool to be his teammate there for the 2 weeks it was.
What was your favorite experience with him off the ice? Obviously, he assisted on the overtime winner. I imagine that's a special. What was your favorite kind of moment around off the ice?
I think, like everyone talks about, his generosity and just how much time he takes out of his day. It doesn't matter what line or where you're from or anything like that. He takes time out of his day and hangs around. He talks about experiences. We had a couple team dinners that he was very generous with. So, yeah, just his generosity.
Did he tell you anything that surprised you?
No, not really. I mean, I know a lot of his stats and a lot of his stuff. So, yeah, nothing too surprising.
Before the overtime goal in Boston, you almost set up or had a great goal on that 2-on-1 with John where you kind of kicked it. The guys were raving about it. Like, what was your thought process on that play?
Yeah, I mean, I do that in the summertime every once in a while, but I didn't really see a passing lane to John on my backhand side, so I don't know. I just tried to get creative with it and get it over to him to try to get some space to possibly get it back. And he made a great play back. Just kind of bounced on me at the last second there to try to make a play.
Do you work on like the footwork during the summer?
Yeah, a lot. It's a big part of. It's a big emphasis for me and my trainer. You never know what's going to happen in hockey games. Pucks take weird bounces, go weird places. It's not always going to be on your tape, so you got to be able to react when it comes to your feet and your skates. So I've tried to work on that my whole career, my whole really growing up lifestyle.
You played soccer growing up, right?
Yeah.
Does that muscle memory kick in at all? Or?
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, maybe it helps a little bit. I didn't play soccer like anything high level wise, really. I was too involved in hockey and lacrosse. So played for a couple years. Played for some school things. Played a lot of sewer ball. So I don't know. It's more probably just on the ice, just trying to do more things, pick up pucks off my feet, and make plays off that.
How are you in sewer ball?
Top 3.
Yeah. Who else is in the mix there?
Mo and me. That's it.
I heard the Europeans are pretty good there.
No, they don't try. Yeah.
Made of Callie's attempt to come back here, skating with you guys the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's been great. Callie, when he's been in the lineup, has been great for us. So, it's unfortunate with the injury and everything that happened there, and it's been great having him back around the guys and traveling with us, and he's looking really good.
In previous years, when you've played on a line with him or when he's been in, what kind of difference can he make when a fully Callie?
Yeah, there's the speed he brings, speed off the puck, just opens up ice. He doesn't sit around the side of the net or anything like that. He gets to the front and, finds himself in goalie's eyes a lot and it opens up space for other guys. So that's what I found when I played with him.
Brad said that he felt like the energy was coming back after playing all that extra hockey in 4 Nations. Do you feel like you're at that point as well? Brad Teller.
Like for myself?
Yeah.
Trying. It was a lot. It really was. Like we were all spoken about and other guys have spoken about it. It was a tough tournament. It was tough in the body. It was tough all around. So energy's starting to come back a little bit, but we're not fully 100 still, I'd say.
You've got some good height on that play before the Nice goal. Mitch there. What did you see on that sequence?
I know Shesterkin can play the puck real well, and I kind of got close to him, and I knew he was trying to shoot. I could hear their D-man yelling to rim it, so just tried to get to the glass as quickly as I can and jump up. Lucky enough it hit me, and I think I think you saw it. For a second there, no one knew where it was other than Austin. He kind of got eyes on it quickly and made a good play.
You're pretty vocal on the ice. You're learning that Anthony Stolowitz is quite vocal as well. What's the impact of having a goalie that is literally shouting at you the whole time?
Yeah, it's probably more D-man than forwards, but it is good. It lets you know when you have time, when there's guys coming. You know what he's seeing from his angle and his point of view too. So, I like it. I've played with Stoley before, so I knew he was a vocal guy, and you like that.
Seems like a pretty loose mood just around the team right now. Winning streak will do that. What do you like about the vibes around the team right now?
Yeah, it's good. I think we're keeping it light, but at the same time, we know we haven't played our best hockey still. We know we got to be better, and but with saying that, we're keeping it light as well, like I said.
What needs to be better, do you think?
I think our starts have been a little weak. I think our second and thirds have been a lot better than our first. So just trying to get ready on time, get going, and not wait till the second and third.
How close are you feeling to being here?
Pretty close. I feel great out there. Just waiting for the last medical clearance here, and then I don't know if it will be tomorrow, the next day, or the day after that. But I'm really close.
Describe your sense of anticipation to play again.
Yeah, it's been a long season for me. Right now I'm just happy to be with the guys and be able to practice with the boys and be on the road. But it's getting close, and it's going to be a lot of fun to play again.
What's been the biggest challenge in terms of this injury and the comeback?
Just the mental side of it, to stay positive every day, go to work and do everything to make it good again, and to be able to get back playing. But it haven't been too bad. I've been getting a lot of support from everybody here and all my teammates, and hasn't been that bad.
How'd you deal with those mental challenges throughout the whole season, pretty much?
Yeah, I think just try to stay positive and try to go to work and do your work just to get better and be able to play again.
Did you do anything different, like pick up, whether it's reading something or watching something to keep your mind occupied as you worked your way back?
I've been reading one book this whole time, so I can't say that, but I don't know. I've been able to work on my skating, working with Paul, the skating coach, a lot, which I think is gonna help me in the long run.
How so? What have you worked on? Anything in particular to refine that area?
Yeah, it's kind of my technique. I don't know if we're gonna get into details, but it's so it doesn't work pretty hard when I skate, but just to make it a little easier on myself, so it doesn't look that hard.
You notice much of a difference this season not playing in terms of how different the team is compared to years past, just kind of watching?
We had a deal. You get a job, you get a house by your 20s. That deal is broken. Housing costs have doubled under the Carney-Trudeau Liberals. I'll axe the sales tax on new homes to save you $50,000 so you can bring it home. That's the deal.
Hold up. Did I just get paid overnight while I slept? This isn't a fluke or some get-rich-quick scheme. It's the power of publishing ebooks on Amazon Kindle. And before you ask, no, I'm not a professional writer. I barely passed English in school. Here's the wild part. I didn't have to write the books myself. I used a simple AI tool to get them done fast. This business is so simple. Even a non-techie like me can do it. In just 6 months from publishing my first book, I replaced my full-time income. Now I get to be there with my kids.
I haven't really been involved with the team. I've been kind of on my own the whole time. So I don't know. I guess if you ask me in a couple of weeks, I could probably answer that question.
But as you get integrated over the last couple of weeks now, you're kind of seeing you're being around the team, does it just feel like old times for you, or does it just feel like?
Yeah, pretty much. Obviously we got new people around here. with pretty much the same guys. But yeah, for me, it's just been fun this last week just to be a part of the group again.
What's the best part of a road trip with the boys?
Yeah, just to chat with the boys, go for dinners, just to see everybody all the time. It's been the most fun.
What book are you reading? Are you still reading?
No, it's a Swedish book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fiction, non-fiction, is it heavy or?
It's a pretty long one. I almost finished it. I can show it to you later if you wanna see it.
Here, I'd love to. Are you able to tell us about kind of what you've been dealing with illness-wise this week and where you're at now?
It was just like a quick 24-hour bug, so all good.
Yeah. Craig says plan is for you to play tomorrow. Like, what are these games against Crosby and Pittsburgh like for you?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you play against someone you grew up watching and idolizing a bit, even though I was a goalie, it's pretty awesome. Like guys like Crosby and Ovechkin are special to play against whenever you can.
15-year anniversary of Crosby's golden goal. Do you remember where you were when that happened? Were you very upset being a young American?
Yeah, I can't say I remember where I was, but I remember the goal. Yeah, I mean, I remember just watching that Olympics, and I loved Ryan Miller at the time, and sucks obviously being an American, but special goal for him.
What's the toughest thing about Crosby? Like, even that goal is like an example of the things he can do around the net. Like, what do you notice?
I mean, I haven't played him that many times, but I think he just has the ability to kind of do everything, right? He's one of the most complete players probably that's ever played the game, and he's dangerous, wherever he's at, whether he's shooting the puck or he's passing the puck or anything. So yeah, he's a guy to pay attention to.
He had quite the setup for you at MSG. It was funny, we were talking about how Stolarz hasn't been on the bench. Like, what's it like to be in that spot in MSG watching that game?
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird when you're not on the bench. You feel half like a fan, like just kind of sitting there and you're not too involved in the game. But I mean, I guess from a hockey perspective, like you can just kind of sit back and watch. But it's it's a bit weird not being like engaged in it as much.
You mentioned you've been looking forward to having Anthony on the bench for one of your starts. How does it help you? Like, does he keep it? You mentioned he keeps it loose. Like, is he cracking jokes? Like,
yeah, I think he just helps keep it light. And it's easy to get sometimes too serious and too locked in. So sometimes it's good to have a little like comic relief or someone to help keep it light. And he's just a good dude, so I like having him out there.
You noticed that you guys have been talking about how vocal he is. They've been saying you're pretty vocal too. But what's your perspective on Anthony and how he uses his voice?
Yeah, it's something I've tried to learn from him a bit. He's really good at just, like you said, just talking. I think that can be taken for granted a bit. Like sometimes when the puck's in your zone or you're helping out the defenseman and just using your voice whenever you can. So it's something I'm trying to do a better job of to help our defensemen, and it's something he's really good at.
You were the last guy out there today. I'm just wondering, like, what are you? So you're having a little fun at one point, playing keep away with Ryan Reeves. Then you're doing. It looked like you were going through some more individual stuff. Like, what are you getting out of when you stay out late on a day like today?
I might have my own kind of little things that I'm working on. I think the important thing is you're always improving, and I think sometimes when you get a few minutes to yourself, you can really like focus on doing some specific things that'll make small little benefits over time. So that's really just my aim there, is focus on a couple things that I want to get better at.
The team keeping the win streak going on a long road trip. What do you like the way they're playing right now?
Yeah, we're playing really well. I think we're just, the biggest thing is we're finding a way to get wins, regardless of, some periods we're playing better than others. Sometimes, their team's heavier on us. Sometimes we're heavier on them. And I think just our team's ability to pull out wins, regardless of kind of the emotion of the game and the situation, has been pretty awesome to watch. And I think that's really important come playoff time.
Give us an example of something you're working on right now to try and improve.
I'm just gonna be really specific, but like when I'm going into the post and like the post position, I'm working on keeping like certain muscles engaged to take pressure off other areas and stay helps my posture and helps everything be a little more smooth. So I'm just focused on it's a very focused on getting things to become kind of like muscle memory.
Stands out to you about the way Mitch uses his feet to influence the game. Apparently he played soccer a little bit. He works on it a lot.
Yeah, he almost looks like a figure skater sometimes. Skating's beautiful. So, I think that's one of the the best parts of his game, and I feel like a lot of guys are blessed with like really good stick handling, or really good skating, or really good hockey sense, and it's rare when you get a guy that can match those together. And he's one of the rare guys that has that IQ and has the stick handling and playmaking and the skating and everything. So it makes him such an elite player.
How close is Allie to playing?
What did he say?
He's feeling pretty close.
It's very close. He's close.
Tomorrow close, or?
Yeah, possibility. Yeah, possible.
How does he look to you? It's been such a long layoff.
Looks really good. No, he looks good out there. He's, like I said, last week in practice, he looked really good too. So, he's moving really well. He's got a ton of energy. So, for me, he's ready to go. Like, it's just decision time for him and the doctors. He brings a lot, in my opinion. I think that he's a very structured player, really can play all three positions, touches a little bit of everything, in my opinion. Penalty kill, and, he's been used on the power play before, but, he's kind of a Swiss Army knife, in my opinion. You can use him almost anywhere, and I think he complements good hockey players, like skilled players. He does all the little things for those guys, net front and getting pucks out of the corner, just doing little things for him.
You see him as a center coming out?
Possibly, I think, again, he's a guy that can play all three positions. So.
What's Oliver Ekman-Larsson's status?
More of a maintenance day for him and Domi and Lorenz today. A little banged up, but so I gave them off today.
Any chance that you feel the list tomorrow?
Well, I don't know yet. That'll be a decision that's going to be made probably tomorrow. Yeah.
For Ekman-Larsson, is it connected to what popped up in the Edmonton game where he had that lower bodies, or is this a new thing that kept him down the stretch?
No, this is new. Yeah, that happened last night.
How's Chris Tanev progressing?
Better today, so that's good news. I heard he's better today, and that's great news. He's feeling better, so we got to just see how he heals up here in the next couple of days.
Is it safe to say he's not going to play these next two, or is he?
Yeah, I would say he's probably out the next 2 games. Yeah.
How's Joseph Woll responding? Obviously, we saw he stayed out there a long time.
He's in good shape. He's good. He's ready. Yeah.
Is he going to start tomorrow?
Yeah, probably a good chance he'll play tomorrow.
Ron said before practice that he felt like the energy levels were coming back for all the guys that went to Four Nations. Do you sense that as well?
Yeah, I think so. It's not like these guys, for me, I have not seen their energy levels be low the last couple of games, to be honest with you. They're playing good minutes. I mean, I don't see that as an issue, to be honest with you. I haven't seen that the last 2 games, so I think they're in good spots.
Before he scored an overtime, Mitch almost had this amazing goal where he kicked the puck through. What's sensitive about the way he can use his feet, and we saw it at the Four Nations too, to influence the game?
Yeah, I think, him and Willie, they do that quite a bit with their feet. They're very good with their feet, whether it's kicking a puck to a guy or kicking it on their own skate. It's probably things that they practiced over time, and, yeah, exactly. That was quite a play that Mitch did in overtime. It didn't work out, but it's just smart hockey guys, that use their feet to their advantage.
Obviously, you didn't love the power play last night. Did you like what you saw? Was there urgency in practice today? Or?
Yeah, there was. I still feel that the easy play is not there. They're not making that. To me, like I always say, the puck moves faster than they do. And just move the puck, give it to the open guy, a little more quicker puck movement, resetting, and just being a little bit more direct. So we tried to get some of that in practice today with how we structured our power play today, with how we killed it, just getting them to move the puck quicker. And so hopefully that triggers them for tomorrow.
You just hit the 15-year anniversary of Crosby's golden goal. I'm just wondering, do you remember where you were when he scored that goal?
15 years ago. I would have been in Philly, watching for sure. Yeah, great player.
He's a pretty good career he's got.
Yeah.
Should we just
fire away?
Fire away. I'm wondering what you've seen from your team recently, the wins they've been put together, how that may or may not impact how you approach the game.
Well, it's all information, right? I think we've played well. I think last night we weren't at our best. So you can look at it two ways. I think last night we weren't at our best, but found a way to get some points. I've liked the energy level of the group coming back off the break. And it's, you've had a large group of guys that have, like all teams, that had a long break. And then we had some important players that were busy over the break. And I'm starting to see the energy come back in those guys. I'm happy with where the group is at. Certainly, I'm not going to get into a whole lot about the deadline, other than to say we're going to try to help ourselves. We want to try to improve our team. Now that's pretty breaking news there, isn't it? So that's the trick is you got to determine sort of fact from fiction, what players are actually available. You look around, there's still lots of teams in the race. If I had to sort of categorize it, I think it's a little bit, hey, it's busy, you're talking to lots of guys. I would say in comparison to years past, it's a little bit slower just because I think there's a lot more teams, that maybe haven't declared yet, as in years past. So there's lots of conversations going on. But yeah, we'd certainly like to help ourselves. We'll see how things play out.
How far along is Calle Yarncroke? I know you have space for him, but there's also the cap, and there's also
no, it's not that as much as there's stuff that's got to happen, which is seeing surgeons and getting sort of the final clearances and all that stuff. So from a medical standpoint and from a clearance standpoint, everything's on track. And so we'll see. I think it's approaching now. We've got a back-to-back coming up, with a player that's been out for a long time. So all those things to consider, but he's on the near horizon.
Usually Hakanpää hasn't been able to get back in. What's your sense of the team's defense right now? Are you comfortable with what you have right now? Is that an area you'd like to add?
Sure. We're looking at all sorts of areas. I don't think, we went out and signed a bunch of defensemen. I don't think you can ever have too many. So if there's something there that makes sense to us, you're juggling again too, that, it's all got to fit in terms of the cap, but it's also got to fit in terms of what the prices are and what the cost is. So there's certainly some areas that we'd like to shore up. It's just, what's the cost? What's the contract? How do you fit it in? And ultimately, what assets got to go out the door?
When you look at how good the goaltending has been and how wide open the East is, do you maybe feel more compelled to take a bigger swing now than a few weeks ago?
Yeah, I don't look at it that way. Like, there's good teams. I don't buy into the idea that, okay, from year to year it's wide open. I think, the East has got the reigning Stanley Cup champions. It's got good teams. I think you always have to base it on where you think your team is at. And it's not, to me, about taking big swings. It's where do you think you can help your team the most? Sometimes, historically look back, and this isn't saying we're doing this or we're not doing that, but historically look back in these attention-grabbing deadline deals, really look back at how many have really paid dividends, right? So ultimately, it's more of looking at your team, where are areas that you think you can improve upon. Are there players out there that can make a difference and move the needle? And sometimes moving the needle is a small, maybe it's not the sexy headlining grabbing move, but where are areas that you can shore up? And ultimately, what's available, what's the cost, and how does it all fit in? So it's a long way of saying, I like our team. I'd like to see if we can make it better by Friday than it is today.
How impressed are you with the way some of the depth players like Nick Robertson are playing on this road trip?
That was always the plan, is they would jump in, and I think, I always caution about calling, slotting them into a certain role. I was watching going back to the Four Nations. I thought Coop had a really good comment. Now you're talking about all the best a lot of the best players in the world there. When he was asked about a role player, everybody's got a role, right? And nobody's. Some play more than others, but everybody's got an important role here. We've seen, Nick and Pontus and Camphor, all those guys. Their role is important, and we've seen them now chip in more recently offensively, which we need, right? Everybody needs that, and it takes a little bit of the pressure off. I think the narrative was we need secondary scoring, and then in the last few weeks we need primary scoring. So we're going to need some other scoring here before too long. So anytime you can get contributions throughout the lineup, it makes you, it gives you a better chance to win. It makes you a more dangerous team. I've really liked Nick's game. I think it's been coming. Sometimes the results lag the process, right? So you can build the house and it really is not looking like anything's getting done, then all of a sudden the house is done, right? I think Nick's, although there's been, in Nick in particular, there's been results lately. I think the process has been pretty good for a while. Now you're seeing sort of the results. And same with Homer and a few others. So we need them to keep going.
How would you assess the progress of Cowan and Minton this season, and how hard would it be to get up with guys like that?
Yeah, they're good players. They're to me, they're top players. They're going to be NHL players. We think highly of them, as we do with a number of other prospects. So, no, we think those guys are exactly where they need to be right now, and are progressing well, and we're excited about them.
How much of a priority at all is getting any of your existing players extended before the deadline, or does it matter?
Yeah, there's always that might be a gentle way of saying any contract updates.
No, I trying to figure.
Yeah. Hey, you'd like to always have certainty, and again, it's like everything else. We'll see how those things progress over time. Yeah, you'd certainly you always like to get things done, but at present they're not. We'll see where those go.
What do you like about Boreavalis? Am I saying it right?
Boreavalis, yeah, you got it. Yeah. Our guys have really, the staff's been on sort of, had a lot of interest in them for a while. Today's the first day we could sign those players for contracts. It's a futures contract, so it begins next year. So we like about him, he's got a real good two-way game. He's got offensive instincts. He's got good size, skates well. Again, he's one of those guys, late developing player. But our guys were really excited to get something done with him. Like I said, they've been tracking him all year. It gives us another, without expending a draft pick, it gives us, and when we're short in the draft pick pool, you've got to be, and we will continue to be aggressive in, whether it be junior college free agency to add to the pipeline. So we like him. Right shot, like I said, big strong guy, skates well. So we were happy to add him today.
That was quite a moment for Mitch at the Four Nations. In your experience, what sort of impact can that have on a player?
Well, I think I haven't talked to you guys since then, right? I think all our guys played really well. I thought they were terrific. And it's interesting in that tournament. It's hard to stand out, right? Like you're talking about the very, very best, some of the very best players in the world, all the best players in the world that are available to play in it. I thought they all had a good tournament. Mitch comes out on the right side of it, so good for him. I think anytime you can have a great experience, and so I said it before, just being around that environment, picking up things, watching how people prepare, watching how they go about their business. I think that's, anytime you can be around greatness, I think it's a positive thing. And then to me, Mitch had his hands all over the success that they had, right? And so we know how good Mitch is, and so I think being able to come through that on a positive note for him serves him and us well. But like I said, I thought Austin was terrific. I thought especially in that, whatever it was a gold medal game, I guess, or the final game, I thought both our guys were awesome.
Many Canadians are facing housing challenges.
Renting can be expensive if you can find a place.
The Government of Canada has programs that help open doors to housing affordability.